Hey, what is going on with y'all? I like smacking people with hammers. Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. You know them. You're kind of grossed out by them. But hey, at the end of the day, you still love that show. Every kid or adult that grew up watching Cartoon Network in the 2000s have probably seen a couple of episodes of Billy and Mandy. And if you're anyone like me, you probably ended up having a weird sense of humor because of the show. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, the video game. Released on September 25th, 2006 to the GameCube and the PlayStation 2, and then a year later released to the Game Boy Advance and the Wii, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy is a 3D arena-based fighter. Or, if you're one of the lucky ones that got the GBA version, it was just a side-scroller beat-em-up. The story follows Grim, Mandy, and Billy as they try to figure out who's opened Grim's trunk and released his... in which he states that if anyone opens his trunk, will be cursed with basically a chicken's butt. No, like seriously, that's entirely the whole curse. These causes people to have uncontrollable rage, making everyone in Ennsville to fight each other to the death, almost. Someone wanted to recreate the LA 92 riots, and I don't know who, but by the end of the story, it was actually proven that it was Billy's fault the whole time, and he was the main reason why Grim's trunk was open in the first place. His main reason was because he thought Mojo was two different people and they need to be released from his trunk for some reason. I mean, this is Billy we're talking about here. This is the same kid who watches paint dry. But with all that being said, how does the game even play? Well, let's dive into it. Oh, quick fun fact before we continue on this video. This game was basically inspired by Power Stone, like one-to-one Power Stone. So basically, this was literally the meme of we have blank at home. Anyway, on to the gameplay. This game is pretty easy to understand. Just like any other arena fighter game, you have a somewhat small or large area that you can go from one wall to another and also attack people that aren't on your team. The buttons are pretty basic to simple to understand. You have your basic attacks, your heavy attacks, and your dashes. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to get into all that boring stuff. Let's get into the real meat and potatoes here, okay? One of the main power-ups. This ball of evil and destruction helps you fill your power meter up that's on the bottom of your health bar. Once it's full, you can use it to finish off an enemy and basically get a life out of them. But hey, be careful, they can also bite back if they have a full mojo bar as well. Honestly, I do think that the bar is pretty useful, but what makes the game even greater was that they had a second bar that you can use to fill up a second meter for your mojo bar. And once you press that button, it basically makes an ultimate move that actually kills all the enemies in the field with one swipe and basically takes their lives down to 1. But enough about the gameplay. I feel like I've talked about it for too long for a second. Let's get into the development of the game and who was the publisher. Let's see here. Of course, Midway is here. Midway Games. Oh, Midway. Now, before I go on and explain the development of this game, I want some of you young people to understand something important. Midway was everywhere at one point from the 1980s to the 2000s. They tried to get their greasy little hands onto almost any IP they wanted to publish or develop, and their list of games run deep, like very deep. For example, their first ever hit game was Space Invaders, followed by, in not in particular order, Tron, Blueprint, some of the Pac-Man games, Rampage, Total Carnage, Strike Force, NBA Jam, and last but not least, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah! Johnny Cage wins.
Now, I know what you're thinking about to yourself. Meaty, how in the world did Midway manage to even make a game for Cartoon Network? The answer is pretty easy. They had a licensing deal. You see, on February 15th, 2005, Midway announced that they were having a licensing deal that ended up going through with Cartoon Network to develop 3 games based on 3 of their top-rated properties at the time. These top-rated properties were Ed, Edd n Eddy, Dexter's Laboratory, and of course, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Only 2 of them were ever to be finished. Dexter's Laboratory, well, ooh. Yeah, it didn't go well for them, apparently. During the production, all the voice actors from the original show reprised their roles, all except one. Jack-o'-lantern is in the game, but he doesn't sound like Jack-o'-lantern from the show. That's only because Jack-o'-lantern from the show was voiced by Wayne Knight. The one in the game is voiced by Maurice LaMarche. He also voiced his father from Codename Kids Next Door, which is a pretty funny thing to see here. Small circle, to be honest. I feel like I'm also missing something here. Oh, Weird Al was also the announcer. He voices Squid Hat in the show. Weird Al was just everywhere. I don't know how he does it. Anyway, once the game came out, a lot of people had a mixed feeling about the game, with one reviewer saying the game was fun for the first few hours, and the action of the game was getting old quickly. Hey, it sounds like a skill issue to me. I don't know. Now, this is probably the nostalgia talking to me, but Grim Invisibility of Mandy the video game is still a pretty decent game to play sometimes. The action is quick and fun to go through, except for the times where I have to know where my character is going. The music is great to listen to, and the character voice lines are so funny to enjoy sometimes. I've had moments where I will recite some of the voice lines from the game, and I just can't stop thinking about it. It'd be so funny in my head sometimes. Honestly, the only gripe I do have about the game is that the story mode kind of felt a little bit rushed at the end, and also a little too quick to finish to an extent. But honestly, that didn't really diminish me from the game itself. Really great game. It's not the best game, but hey, it's not the worst game I've ever played. There are far worse ones out there, and we'll probably get into those later. That's all I got for you for today. Don't forget to like, comment, and follow or subscribe to see more videos like this. And I will see you later with a brand new video. Peace.
Yeah, why y'all put cheese on my cheeseburger?
I'm sorry, what?
Shut your bitch ass. Someone come in there and shoot your